Hello, everyone. I am happy to be on, and we're going to get started in about 2 minutes. Good evening. Good evening. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Yes, yes, yes. DJ, cut the music. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Happy to have you in. I'm going to be on maybe about 20 minutes at the most, and I'm getting out of here. So, this is just a midweek check in on financial literacy. Where are you at with your 2024 goals right now? Let's lock in and have a conversation about where you are midweek when it comes to financial literacy and where your goals are as well. So, this is just a midweek check in conversation about financial literacy. I am Coach Steele, the financial voice of the people, and I look forward to us spreading the message and continuing the conversation about financial literacy. Like I said, I'll be on for maybe about 20 minutes at the most, and I'm going to get up out of your way. But I just want to check in with everyone. I know it's not the middle of the week, it's only Tuesday. It just depends on how you look at it. But anyway, as we look at it, we're coming towards the end of the month, right? We're coming towards the end of the month of July. Where are you at financially? Is it looking a little tight? Because normally at the end of the month, that budget and the money that we have left over is a little tight. So this is when you really have to start honing in, locking in, and finding out basic information about your budget right now as you come towards the end of the month, as you come towards the end of July in 2024. Think about one, what is left in the account? We definitely don't want any overdraft fees. We definitely don't want to get to the register and realize that there's not enough in the account. So, right now, some things that you can do as you come towards the end of the month, look what is in the account. And not only what is in the account, but are there any transactions that are still going through, any transactions that you know that are going to be auto drafted out? That way you'll know what to expect to have left over at the end of the month. Are you going to the store one or two more times. Here's the perfect time as you come down to the last week, basically last week of July. Figure out what you need from the store. And not only what you need from the store, but are you going to have to take more than one trip to the store? And if you take more than one trip, how much is each trip going to cost you? If you're in the house with multiple people and you're working with the same account, how many times are you going to the store and how many times are they going to the store? How many times are you going to Walmart? How many times are they going to the mall? Because there's a set amount left in your account right now to help you make it to the end of July. And some of you have goals. One of your goals may be whatever I have left over at the end of July, I'm going to put in my savings account. Whatever I have left over at the end of July, I'm going to put in my individual retirement account, my Roth, whatever it is, those goals. If whatever I have left over at the end of this month, I'm going to put the rest of it on that credit card I want to get rid of. So now is the important time to hone in, tighten up so you don't have what happened to you months before, where there's less there left over than what you expected. So let's start calculating what else do we need? What else do we have to go buy? And then remember what else is going to be drafted out, whether it's from your checking account or if you have drafts payments going out to service providers from a credit card that you know you're going to have to pay that credit card off as well. Think about all those expenses and what you have left in the account so you can start making adjustments now so the end of the month isn't so bad off like it would potentially normally be. So think about all of those things. Once again, Coach Steele, the financial voice of the people. I am live on YouTube and Facebook, but if you want to be on YouTube, please jump over to my YouTube channel and subscribe. We're going to run it up. And of course, we're going places. And all my ladies out there, listen, we got to destroy these stats that they say about financial literacy concerning women. They say women are least likely prepared for retirement. We are going to do things to switch the conversation, transition that conversation of women not being prepared financially. You're going to hear me talk about that a lot because I believe we can bring about a change. It makes no sense for women financially not to be prepared. So we have to figure out what is causing that and then make the adjustment. And so as we do our midweek financial literacy check-in, and while I'm talking, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. And on YouTube, you'll see a lot of the other content that I have there for you to listen in. A lot of great content about should you buy a house, how to pay a mortgage off fast, dealing with inflation, how to locate money. If you love gardening, please go to the YouTube channel and you'll see all type of gardening videos of me out of my garden, growing vegetables and things like that, because I do believe in, if you can, try and grow a lot of your own food and eat healthy and eat fresh food as well. So a lot of interesting things have happened recently. Of course, we've seen one president who has decided not to run again. And so that's going to have an impact on the market and the economy. And some people will believe positive, some people will believe negative. And that president also had certain initiatives and things that he had planned on doing for the economy and for people financially. So a lot of that stuff I think I'm going to talk about on Saturday, to talk about the validity of it and what things that are proposed make sense, what will actually help you or not. But regardless who is in office, ladies and gentlemen, just know you need to start taking action for yourself. Because if you depend on who is in office, then you're going to let yourself down. You can't depend on someone to come with initiatives to completely fix your financial situation. You have to be proactive and take the initiative because you never know who's in, who's out, who'll say they're in and then be out later. Take the initiative for yourself. So when we talk about inflation, and it's interesting because if they believe inflation is going to be lowered, right? If they believe the cost of living is this inflation that has been rising over the past few years, if it's slowing down, understand the difference between it going lower and it slowing down. Inflation is still going to have that strong effect on you like it's having now. Just because it's slowing down doesn't change the fact that what you have left over at the end of the month and your bills and your expenses, it doesn't mean like they're going to actually decrease. In fact, if you're renting, you already know that rent is going up. If you go to the grocery store, you already understand inflation may be slowing down, but the cost of your groceries are still high. So don't get distracted by that. But one thing that will happen, I'll tell you this: if they feel that things are going better, then eventually, potentially, the feds will probably lower the rates. When the feds lower the rate, you're going to find a lot of homeowners, especially if they're recent homeowners and their rates are pretty high, whether it's 7% or 6.5%, whatever it is that these recent homeowners have from buying a house. You're going to find a lot of people running to the bank to refinance because the rates are lower. And their goal is probably going to be to decrease their monthly mortgage payment. And so they may refi. That way they can decrease their monthly mortgage payment and increase their cash flow at the end of every month. But before you do that, make sure you check all options before you rush to pay a financial institution closing costs to refinance unnecessarily. Because there are some other things that you can do creatively to get rid of that mortgage at a faster pace. And so you can always go check out Accelerated Banking. If you need the link, let me know. And at Accelerated Banking, you'll be able to understand and learn how to pay your mortgage off at an accelerated rate. As opposed to rushing to refi, you can come up with a plan to eliminate that mortgage, that 30-year mortgage, in potentially 5 to 7 years. And so before you rush to give a financial institution more money, take time to educate yourself and see if there's a better option out there instead of resetting your 30-year mortgage. So we'll see a lot of that coming up if the feds do lower the rates. But most importantly, if you have financial goals, and I'll talk a little bit more on Saturday about paying off your mortgage faster and having other options besides just refinancing. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, it is important. Listen to what I'm saying. It is vital more than ever, anytime that you educate yourself and elevate your level of financial literacy. There is so much information out here that can completely change your lifestyle, that can completely change your financial situation, that if you are willing to invest in yourself, if you're willing to invest in your knowledge and wisdom that's out here, you can grow financially much faster than the rate you are now. You cannot continue to grow off of old news and old information. Continue to elevate your mind. Where the information is, go and gather it and then apply. Gather the information, gather the knowledge, and then apply it. Apply it as it works for you. Don't be afraid of mentorship. Don't be afraid of guidance. Don't be afraid to ask the right questions. Do what's necessary to change your financial situation. So as we're in this I call it the midweek check-in of financial literacy, ladies and gentlemen, where's your budget at right now? Where are your goals when it comes to 2024? And if anyone's just tuning in, like I told everyone, I'll probably only be on here for about 20 minutes. So I'm going to check out probably about another 10 to 15. I think I've already been on for about 10. And so when it comes to your budget and your goals for 2024, let me tell you a secret. Anybody ready for this secret? If you aren't where you're supposed to be or whether you projected yourself to be, don't give up, and it's not too late. Don't give up, and it's not too late. Don't give up, and it's not too late. Things that you wanted to accomplish, places that you wanted to be financially, just because you aren't there where you want it to be July 23rd, 2024, doesn't mean you give up and throw in the towel. No, it's time to reboot. It's time to get your mental back together so that you can get right back on track. I use this simple example. If someone wanted to, let's say they have nothing in their savings account and they want to have at least $600 in their savings account, that person would need to put at least $50 a month, every single month, into their savings account. And at the end of the year, they would have $600 in their savings account. If you wanted $6,000 in your savings account, that individual needs to put $500 a month. Of course, I'm going to tell you to put that money in a high yield interest savings account. And at the end of the year, you're going to have more than the 600, or you'll have more than the 6,000, because of this thing called compound interest. And that's why I'm trying to tell everyone, don't give up on your financial goals. The things that you're trying to accomplish, just because you aren't there now, that doesn't mean anything. Things can turn around so quick that you would not realize how easy it is to get to where you're trying to be and then surpass it. It's all about putting your money in the right places. It's all about being strategic with your goals so that you can get to where you need to be. But if you're afraid to invest in yourself, if you're afraid to go get mentorship and guidance and help and assistance, if you allow pride to get in the way, you can't get to where your goals are and where you want to be. The goals in the finish line are there waiting for you to get there. So you got to think about that. Some people say, well, it's hard to get to that goal, or it's hard to accomplish this. That finish line is already there. You got to get there. So what you think is hard to get to is already present. Ha! Let that sink in. The place you're trying to get to is already present. It's just waiting for you to be present with it. And so you can't give up just because things get a little difficult. I'm telling you, when it comes to investing, when it comes to getting yourself in a better financial situation, it's okay if you have to start with a little bit. Don't say, well, I only got $10 left over. Well, I only got 25 and that's not much. That's not enough. It is enough to get started with. It's more than enough to get started with. And then you have to allow the power of compound interest and long-term investing to do its perfect work. So you will learn to, if you shift your mentality, you will learn to let the money work for you. Sometimes we think we have to throw a whole lot all at once to have impact. No, all it takes is a little bit. Some people have invested $200, $300 and made thousands of dollars because they were patient and they understood that their little bit long-term would be a lot. Stop underestimating what you have in your hand. It's more than enough. Get the wisdom, get the knowledge, get the information necessary so that you can put your funds in the right place, and be patient. One thing I've learned through talking to different people, anytime someone comes to me about financial guidance or advice, everyone always wants to hit a home run. Immediately, not everyone, but a lot of people are saying, how can I make money fast, quick, and in a hurry? Well, there's a lot of people who try different things to do that, and then it doesn't work out for them. But there's a lot of wealthy people in America who did a lot of long-term investing and being patient, and it paid huge dividends for them. And so when you look at the life of someone who's had financial success, consistently throughout America, it is the people who have been patient and invested long-term. Even if you do hit a home run, let's say hypothetically you hit a home run, you come into a lot of money, it still comes down to your financial discipline, your financial habits that you have. How many people and how many stories do we have to hear about people winning the lottery and then they blew the money and they don't even know where it is, what it's spent on, and they're back at square one? It's because of financial habits and financial tendencies. That's why I'm talking to you about educating yourself about financial literacy, getting yourself so financially disciplined that you'll do what it takes to get to your goals that you're trying to get to. I understand that there's a sense of urgency financially in America, but do not let keeping up with the Joneses or trying to portray yourself as something else stop you from getting to where you need to be. There are plenty of people that have more than enough money and they're probably riding around in a cheap car and the shoes don't have a name brand on them and they can go buy whatever they want, whenever they want, how they want. But people looking at the visual would think that they can't. Some people are so financially disciplined that they do not worry about what other people think. They're going to make sure that they reach their goal. I remember when I was trying to get out of debt, anything that we didn't need, I cut off. I got rid of. Anything that I didn't need, whether it was cable. I remember one time I got rid of my cell phone. This was years ago when cell phones, you still had the house phone or you could have a cell phone. That cell phone was like $100 a month and I wanted to get rid of a credit card. So I just went without a cell phone for a while. Because why? My financial goals were more important than having a cell phone. Some people, whether it's certain things that you like to buy every month, I don't want to tell women don't go get your hair done or anything like that, but maybe you can adjust on how much it costs. And that extra $50 you save can help you pay off that credit card faster. Same thing with us men and the different things that we like and the different gadgets and toys. Start making the necessary adjustments. And when you do that, you can start investing. You can start putting those seeds, that money in places that it needs to be. And then guess what? Then the money starts producing a harvest. Then you start making money off of your money. And so now you're not having to bust a sweat to make money. Some of us, if you take your time and your discipline and you invest your money, even just a basic savings account and building up to the right amount, your savings account can make you an extra $60 to $100 a month. Some of us are short financially every month, an extra $60 to $100. Your savings account could take care of that. And that's just that's a small example of how you can let your money make money, passive income, and then you can take that money to cover expenses and bills and whatever is necessary. Once again, there's some videos on YouTube that help talk about that high yield interest savings account. Get on there, subscribe, comment, talk about the different things that interest you, your goals that you're trying to make. We can have a conversation about that. We can do more videos about that. It is the season to educate yourself financially on the things that you need to learn. There are so many people that invest in the stock market wisely, long term, and they are increasing their net worth. They are increasing their assets. They're increasing the value of their money, and they're not even clocking in. They're not having to clock in, but they're becoming wealthier. And then there are other people that are giving Walmart and the mall and Amazon all their money every single month, and they are decreasing their net worth and they're increasing their bills. They're increasing their debts. So we have to get to the other side to where we're not increasing our expenses, but we're increasing the value of our money. And most importantly, allowing our money to work for us. So like I said, this is the end of July. So as we come to the end of July, you need to start figuring out how many more trips you have to go to the store versus what is left over in your account. What is the balance of that credit card? Is there any possible way, with about 7 to 8 days left at the end of the month, is it any possible way not to have to swipe that card anymore to run up the debt on it? Because, depending on, and I'll tell everyone this, you should know what day your credit card company is going to charge you for the balance on that card. You should know what day your credit card company is going to charge you for the balance on that card, the charge date, because you do not have to pay interest on that card if you can pay that credit card off in full before that charge date. I'm not telling you not to enjoy cashback rewards or hotel points or mileage and things like that. But what I am saying is, don't get cashback rewards, hotel points, and mileage, but then pay the credit card company large sums of interest on the balance. Because guess what? You just paid for the mileage and the hotel points. Don't cancel it out. Take advantage of them. Don't allow them to take advantage of you. So once again, check your budget as we come close towards the end of the month. It is 6:40, and I said I was going to be on here for about 20 minutes or so, and I believe I've been on for about 25 minutes. I appreciate everyone for checking in. What are we going to do 2024? Increase our level of financial literacy. What are we going to do while we have about 8 days left over, about a week left over at the end of this month? We are going to check our budget. We're going to check what's in the account, and we also are going to check how many more times we need to go to the store. If we don't need to buy that package or whatever it is from Amazon, we are not going to do it. We're going to prep as we go into August to have financial success. Parents that are out there that have children, many of you are going to have to buy school clothes, school uniforms, book bags, and things like that. So it's going to get a little tight. So maybe we don't go out to eat. Maybe the rest of this week we buy groceries, we eat in, because we have to prep for those miscellaneous. Some of us have children getting ready to go off to college, traveling. All of those things are happening. We spend a bunch of money during the summer because it's vacation time. It's time to enjoy time with family. So keep all of that in mind as we prep and we go into August. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in August swiping that card, swiping your credit card to pay for the school, the travel, those other miscellaneous expenses that come with August and that transition back into school. We're going to be proactive. We're going to continue to be proactive, and we'll continue to pace ourselves as we get to the end of 2024 to meet all of our financial goals. I appreciate everyone tuning in. This is Coach Steele, the financial voice of the people. If you have not subscribed on YouTube, get over there and subscribe on YouTube and check out the rest of that content. Don't make me come find